There was that king, and you could call him an enlightened being. And being an enlightened being, he'd made a vow that he would ensure the welfare of all beings and all things. He was just and fair. He made sure that the coffers were full so that everyone had enough to eat, including the animals. He spent many hours during the day listening to the importunings and the grievances of his people. But he wasn't happy, nor was he content. Very often he would sit at the window of his bedchamber, looking out over his beautiful flower gardens, over the waving wheat in the fields, and the abundance of fruit trees that abounded in the forests beyond. And he would wonder, what is it? Why am I not content? What more can I do? And one day, the gods in the heavens, after hearing this plea so often, decided that they would respond, give him an answer. So one of the gods exited the heavenly realms, and as the god did so, on leaving those realms, broke in two, one part becoming a dove, and the other part an eagle. And the little dove went flying down, down, spiraling down to the earth, with the great eagle in pursuit. And as we know with eagles, they circle and circle also, pursuing the small dove. The dove came to the realm of the king and reached his palace and flew in the window and landed on his arm. The eagle followed this regal creature and landed on the arm of his throne. The little dove said to the king, "Protect me, help me. This eagle is about to eat me. Take care of me. Save my life." And then the eagle said, "How can you protect one that is my food? How can I survive in life if I do not follow my nature to kill and eat? It is your duty to allow me to fulfill my needs." The king thought deeply for a moment, and then he said to the eagle, "If I give you a piece of flesh that is the weight of this dove, will you be content?" "Yes," said the eagle. So the king turned to one of his attendants and said, "Bring me the royal scales, and also bring that sharp knife with the pearl handle that lies in my coffers." So the scales were brought, and the knife, and the dove was placed on the scales. the women were sent away to save them from seeing the sight. And the king opened his royal robes, and taking the knife, sliced a piece of flesh from his thigh and placed it on the scales, but they did not move. He took another piece of flesh, and another, but the scales did not change. Cutting, slicing, the blood flowing from his thighs, his arms, his chest, his neck, but no flesh allowed the scales to change. Finally, when there was no flesh left on the king's bones, he cried, "What more can I give?" And then he said, "Take me, place me on these scales." But just at that moment, a great thud of thunder roared through the palace, and the dove and the eagle merged back into the celestial being, who said to the king, "You now have your answer. You have passed the test." The god returned to the celestial realms, but never again did the king sit at his window and sigh, wondering what more he could do. What is the deep meaning of this story?
The king had to pass beyond duality and be going to the one where the negative and the positive join.
Yes. And as we learn, when everything is gone, everything is given, and there is no more to give. There is no more duality. When is the end of giving? When we have no more to give, or when we've given.